Guys, you want to push the record button?
We're on.
Sweet. It's week 5. Over halfway. Yay!
Kind of sad too, right?
I know. It's going. Do you guys feel like it's going fast?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Some people are like, no.
Not for me.
Well, obviously, I want to start out with wins. I want to hear what's going well for you guys. So feel free, whoever wants to go first.
Okay, I'll start. I'm not good at doing all the videos, but okay, I have something to share.
Yeah,
So
what's up?
I had another class on Sunday with one of my first builder. So she invited 2 people, and we started with a lady, and it was all about my friend practicing, right? Or my builder practicing. And her friend was totally open to that. So I kind of introduced and she started doing it, and that was fine. And she purchased a kit, so that was amazing. But one of the other, then another lady came over, and she was using Young Living. So, and we had Diamond Club, somebody from Diamond Club with us attending at the same meeting. And so I said, oh my gosh, so what am I going to say or do so that she changes or she wants to try the oil? So all my focus, all my intention was like, okay, hopefully she can be willing to try this new product. So the silver lady was talking about a little bit about not the difference, but what is what is different from Young Living to doTERRA, right? And it's more about the culture and the education. She didn't say anything bad about Young Living, just all good about doTERRA. So that kind of opened her mind a little bit. And then my builder talked about the coin source, all the coin pack sourcing for the oils, and she was kind of enlightened. And then I said, well, would you be willing to try our oils and see how you feel about them? So we just gave her the kits and said, well, this is, and she tried the peppermint, and she enrolled right there. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like, I can't believe this, because all my intention was for her to do this, and I thought at the beginning, since she was already using the oil from another company, she wouldn't. So it was awesome.
That's awesome.
I felt good.
That's so great. I love to just like the fact of, when we are talking about other companies, like when it comes up to, just focus and emphasize on like what doTERRA does and what's great about doTERRA, because, we never want to like badmouth or speak poorly of another company. So I think that's so awesome that, she was able to recognize like your guys' care and passion, and obviously like doTERRA's passion, and yeah, kits on dressers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
So great. What else, you guys?
So this week, or last week was my first time at Leadership ever, and it was super exciting. And I was inspired. I did the recruiting workshop on Saturday. I watched the replay, but I've been inspired now that I feel like I have a framework. My immediate upline, my 2 immediate uplines, and I all started at the same time, and we didn't know what we were doing. And now I feel like I have a framework and a structure. So I'm starting to do Zoom calls with my leaders, because we're all over the country, and I feel like I can actually lead them instead of stumbling around. So it's very exciting.
So awesome, Pam. That is so great. So exciting for your leaders too to learn.
I didn't have any for the longest time, and people are starting to, they're stepping into their power. They're believing that they can do it. It's really exciting.
I love it. Well, I'd love to follow that up with a question. What is it that you're doing differently that's kind of empowered them to, step into their own, so to speak, and believe that they can do it?
For a long time, I was afraid to talk about the business because I didn't want to be one of those creepy people. But then I realized that, I was able to quit my office job. I mean, I was miserable. And this and some other revenue streams enabled me to quit my office job. And why not, at least, maybe you don't want to do oils, but do your thing. Like, I have friends who, like girlfriends from my office, who are building inventions in their garage. I'm like, just do the thing.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, so I just put it into my presentation. Now I'm like, you know what? I love my job and I get to be home with my kids and this is what I do. And look how easy it is. We just took your lunch break and had fun and talked about oils and people are like,
Mm-hmm.
So I think that having done this for a long time, I'm on my third year and I'm not that, that girl who tries Pampered Chef for 6 months, irritates everyone she knows, and then disappears. And then goes, I'm not making any money and quits. I think the longevity and the and selling with integrity make a big, big difference.
That's so great. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. What else, you guys? Want to hear some other wins?
Well, I had a one-on-one today, someone who was referred to me, not through this system, sadly. I mean, meaning I'm in the chamber, and so they referred them to me. But my point is, it shows you the power of referrals, right?
Totally.
Yeah, because they're good friends, and they sent them to me. He's wanting to take his business into a whole new holistic approach. And he sells durable medical equipment. He's wanting to add stuff for prevention. And doesn't want to just sell all this Band-Aid stuff. So super excited. We're going to get him started up with like a couple home essentials kits and 6 intro kits. And just like I've not had someone since, I had one person who enrolled with more once. I had someone who got a share whatever, every oil kit or share oil kit or whatever it was. But I'm just really excited because even though he's not planning to like be a builder in any way, it's going to be volume that I need desperately somewhere. Or maybe I shouldn't say desperately, but I'm excited to get it, right? And just it's exciting to talk to someone who actually, believes in the power of the oils and specifically sought out doTERRA and sought me out once someone referred them to me. So that felt great. And then I have another one-on-one on Thursday, which is a client of my husband's. He's a fitness trainer. So that should go well. That I had my gal who didn't enroll with me, but chose to enroll somewhere else. She's already reached out, wants to be on my team, but it's kind of a little too late. So I gave her the options. And so she's going to hang where she's at right now. Cause I talked to my account rep and it's just, you have to stop.
Yeah.
Order for 6 months.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was sad, but it really put a little fire under me to get referrals. So I made a Facebook post and later I thought, well, I hope this, maybe I should have run it by you guys, but just a little graphic that said, referrals is the best compliment you can give me. Thank you. And put my web address on there. And so in the post, I just said, even if you aren't into oils, if you know of someone who is looking into them or into doTERRA, send them to me. And I promise that your friend will be well taken care of. I've been doing this for over 3 years. I do this full time. I love helping customers and business builders alike. I just went and I've laughed because I'm like, how do people not know I do oils? Like, I've been doing this for so long. But the mom did. It was the daughter she was referred to someone else, but her mom told her about me, but she didn't choose to listen to her mother. So anyway,
we don't listen.
I know.
Who knows best?
But she's following me on my business page and liking all this kind of stuff. And it's strange. It almost feels like, I don't know, like I'm being followed by a competitor, which I know it's like not really, but I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? Have you ever had that experience?
Yeah, she's stalking you. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't mind. I would love it if she was on my team.
I think that's a huge compliment too, though, right? Like,
Yeah.
Obviously, you're probably doing something right for her to be like, oh, I want to know what she's doing.
Right.
So Laura, what's changed for you in all of a sudden, like you're just like going for it, with this whole referral thing? Because I
Yes.
feel like, 4 weeks ago, you're like, oh, I'm not so sure about that.
Well, and it's funny because I kind of noticed I was putting off doing week 5 because I don't even want to think about, like, I was putting off doing the homework because it was like, of course I was mad at myself once I heard it all, like, no, I could have used this last Thursday. Like, why didn't I listen sooner? I think it just gives you a new feeling of confidence,
Mm-hmm.
and it really just helps you kind of be a more confident you. So then when you do have these conversations with people, they're like, that's who I want to work with.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I feel, at least. And it's funny because I got really down because of this gal enrolling somewhere else. And usually that would have put me in kind of a bad space for a couple days because she, enrolled, and then I had someone I was supposed to meet with a one-on-one on Monday. She canceled and she didn't want to reschedule. So it's like kind of made me a little down on Sunday night. But for some reason, maybe I just got excited about convention yesterday, but I bounced back rather quickly. And I just thought, I'm just going to do my thing, get word out about even more about what I do. And that's all I can do. I can't make someone enroll with me, So just do what I do with integrity, so people can see the passion I have. And if they don't choose to enroll with me, then, not to sound rude, but it's kind of their loss. So, I just, do, I don't know. So I think it's that confidence it gives me.
Totally. Absolutely. How many of you guys feel that way? The way that Laura does. Yeah. That's awesome. Does anybody else have any other wins that they want to share before we start diving in? No, I'm just going to call Vicki out since she's on here. I heard Vicki made a phone call this week to somebody to have a practice appointment. I think it was her first phone call. Vicki, can you hear me? She might be on mute. She's on her phone. But I just wanted to share that too, because I know that was really hard for her. And so I want you guys to just be encouraged, like, all the things that you're learning and doing, like, a lot of this isn't easy, right? Like, you guys are being challenged, you're being pushed, you're having to stretch yourself, kind of think in ways that you've probably never thought about things before. And so I just want you guys to be encouraged, like, you're showing up. So that's like half the battle, right? It's just like showing up, being here, doing the work, and just be gentle on yourselves, we're so quick to just like beat ourselves up. And that's why every week we want to, celebrate the wins, because it's so much easier to focus on what didn't go well, right? Or where we messed up or where we could have done better. And so, like, manage your expectations, especially as we keep going through the course. Like, the skills like past week 5 are definitely more kind of advanced skills. So this is when we start like really, really digging in. And I know a lot of people start to feel frustrated and, maybe get hung up on things. And so I don't want you guys, feeling like you're getting stuck or like you suck or why can't I do this? It's totally normal, right? If you're here in week 5 and you're just like, oh my gosh, like, I can't do this, it's too hard. It's totally normal. So that's okay. That's what we're here for. And that's what today is about. So just some quick updates for you guys before we kind of dig into the content for today. I know a bunch of you, or maybe a few of you, have noticed some changes to your course. And so first of all, apologies to you all. We're definitely not trying to confuse you or like keep you on your toes. Sometimes we're confused ourselves, you guys. So, I think, as most of you know, we're growing very, very quickly, and we're trying to provide you guys with the most up-to-date, most relevant content. And as we've been, coaching group after group, we're learning, right? We're learning what works better. And I think for, Tasha, as she was writing this content, like, especially when it comes to week 5, like, she didn't realize, a whole bunch of the baggage that a lot of us have. And so we've had to obviously make some revisions and changes to make it the best content for you. So we have rearranged some things, and that also serves as just the process in which you guys do things in your business. The way that we had things before, it just seemed a little jumbled, and it was like trying to fit a square in a round hole, so to speak, because it was like, oh, let's talk about training and leading your team before we've even talked about having that, first kind of OMG conversation, like they said yes to the business. Mm-hmm. So we just wanted to rearrange things for you guys so the content flowed better in terms of, it's an assembly line also. And we've added in things. So just bear with us. We're having some technical challenges here and there. And so we appreciate your guys' feedback. If you can't get to something, if you can't access something, if something's not working for you, not downloading, please let us know. We appreciate that, just so we can get it fixed for you. And yeah, like Kristen said, we're not tech people.
Yeah, originally the course was a 6-week course, which ended with leading your team, and then recruiting kind of came later. So we're like, we think it's time to make the order make sense. So, yeah, sorry that you're caught in the middle, but it's better in the long run.
Cool. So just a quick shout out to Vicky too, since she's on here. She was this week's challenge winner. So congrats to you, Vicky. You're going to get a coupon for a free workshop. You can either use that for yourself or for somebody on your team. And Kristen will follow up with you with the code so that you can redeem that when you want. Okay, so I want to get into your guys' questions. There were 2 questions, one from Renee and one from Anne, about referrals. But before I get to those questions, I want to ask you guys, what is it that freaks you out about this whole referral concept? Let's just put it out there.
Well, I liked in the videos, it kind of addressed my concern. I don't like giving people's contact info out. So it feels weird. And I've had I'm just putting this out there, just telling you, I had a different, one of my uplines gave my contact to someone for a service. I ended up signing up with the service and I use it and I like it. So it's was it a bad thing? But at first it kind of put me off, well, why would she give my number out? That's kind of weird, And then I kind of thought, oh, she's just trying to get a referral. You know what I mean? Just whatever. So those are not maybe referral, but she was trying to get a kickback for me signing up. But maybe that's my own issue. I don't know. So I'm still planning to ask for it. And then, I might run across people that have that same issue, but I guess that's kind of the part that makes me feel uncomfortable. And but Tasha addressed that. I don't really remember at the moment what she said, but, maybe, the way we contact them, I like the script, hi Jill, did, Mary tell you I was going to call? We were talking the other day about essential oils and your name came up. That all sounds really cool. And not seedy or whatever. I don't know. But that's the one thing I guess I run into. I don't know if anyone else has that same thing. I guess I worry that they're not going to want to give me their numbers.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
And I struggle a little bit with what the gift to be. So I'm thinking I'll make it oil blends. That way, obviously, but then I was giving them an oil blend when they signed up, the first time appointment special. So I'm kind of a little bit torn, not that it has to always be the same, but that was the other thing I was trying to figure out.
What else, you guys?
Mine is rejection, because it's hard not to take it personal if they don't want to refer anybody, which I've had several people say, oh, let me see how they work for me first, or I might want to do the business. So I don't like to ask because of fear of rejection, I guess. Not take it personal.
Totally. Yeah. And who's that about when we're afraid of rejection? Is that about us or is that about them?
Us. Me.
Yeah. But I feel like just calling that out, right? Because isn't that what we're all afraid of?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if they say no? Or what if they don't like me? Or what if they don't buy? What if? Right? But what if they're waiting for your call? Like, what if they have a legitimate need in their life and they don't know about this thing that could help them?
But you have to get the name and the number first.
Totally.
Yeah, that's where I'm struggling.
Totally. So here's where you guys have to manage your expectations, right? I think that's like one of the biggest keys when you're going into this is like, you can't go into, approaching referrals with the mindset that every single person you ask is going to give you contact information, right? Because that's 100% success, right? And that doesn't exist. 50% of the time when you ask, somebody is going to give you contact information, whether that's one name, whether that's 3 names, 5 names, right? 50% of the time. So that's 1 out of every 2 people. So if you ask one person, right, and they don't give you contact information, and then you're like, forget it, I can't do this, right? That's not a fair expectation on yourself, right? Because we have to remember it's 50% of the time. So just be mindful of that as you guys are implementing this into your business. It's the same thing with like your closing percentage, right? When we say like, hey, don't make any judgments on your success or your progress until you've had at least 3 to 5 appointments, because it's too soon. And it may not be you. It may just be them. Does that make sense to everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So I think that really answers Renee's question, which was, she asked, managing objectives for referrals is still a problem. And so, just be mindful. It's 50% of the time people are going to give you contact information. And then you guys just need to have a clear goal in mind, like a very specific goal. Like if you just said like, oh, okay, I want to get referrals, right? It's like, okay, well, what does success look like for that? Get referrals. How many? Right? If you guys don't have this clear goal, like, okay, I want to get at least 5, or I want to get at least 3. If you don't have a clear goal, then it's really hard for you guys to manage and measure your success. Because if you just said, I just want to get referrals, then, what does success look like for that? Is that 1? Is that 3? So do you guys all have an idea of like what success looks like for you in terms of how many referrals you at least want to start or at least try to get with your next couple of appointments?
You're asking us how many we want to get?
Yeah, I think that's important, right? To write it down. Because I saw some of your guys' feedback in Thinkific where it's like, yeah, I want to get more referrals.
So maybe if we look and say, okay, we're going to have 10 one-on-ones this month. We're going to try to get at least 5 referrals from each person. That would be 50. But if only half give it, let's get 25 referrals.
Yes.
Okay.
That's better, right? You've got a clearer vision of what it is that you're trying to achieve versus just saying like, I just want to get referrals.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you don't even know what that looks like. And I don't want... Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I talk too much sometimes. But no, just thinking, so like then on my calendar, personal goal or business goal, I could put 5 referrals. I could just say, I'm going to at least get 5 every week. Then if I get more than bonus.
Totally.
Maybe. Okay.
Totally. Absolutely. And there's no like right or wrong starting point for anybody, right? So everybody's different. So if you don't have the confidence or the guts to be like, yeah, I'm going to ask for 10, right? Don't ask for 10. Like start small. It's those baby steps. So it's like when we first started talking about making phone calls and calling people, that's something that's scary for you and you're not confident, it's going to take you time to develop that confidence and build that skill. So instead of setting out this like super high goal of, I want to make 15 phone calls today, and then you're just like staring at your phone like, I can't do this. Right? How about just try 2? So I would encourage you, something that's really helpful for me is setting like a low, medium, and a high goal in terms of like how many referrals you want to get, the rest of this month. And your low goal is, okay, if I at least get, 5 referrals, I don't suck. Okay. Your medium goal, okay, if I get 10, I'm doing pretty good. If I get 20, I am a rock star. Because that helps you guys manage success a little better, right? Is that helpful for you guys? Cool. And Anne asked, this came up for me when going through the voicemail scripts. I know that we are selling the appointment, not the product. I love that, Anne. So great. It's so true. So when we ask for referrals, we are asking for appointments, not sales. Yes, because your customers are referring their experience with you. That's why people refer. Not because the product is amazing. I mean, that's part of it, right? But it's because you're amazing. Because the interaction that they've had with you is totally different than with anybody else. So it's like, of course they would want to send their friends and family because all you want to do is help them. So in the scripts, we aren't necessarily mentioning essential oils. For example, she asked me to call you regarding essential oils for your family's wellness versus she asked me to call you regarding natural health solutions for your family's wellness. Is the first too specific? Is the second too vague? Because ultimately we are selling the solution to their problem, not the bottle of oil. I think either way is totally fine, Anne. I think they're both accurate. So personally, I like the first one better. As customers, since you are all here, if Anne were to say, hey, Susie asked me to call you regarding essential oils for your family's wellness, would you be put off by that? Would anybody be put off by that? Or what about, hey, Susie asked me to call you regarding natural health solutions for your family's wellness?
I think the second one's too vague.
Why?
What kind of solutions? Is it a pill? Are these like shakes you want me to drink? What is the solution? So
that's how I felt about it too.
Yeah.
It's just there's too many questions around that.
Yeah. What are natural health solutions?
Right.
That's like the whole, it's funny. Compliance, I don't want to joke at compliance at all because I do think that's important. But, when we're talking to people, when you're like, do you have seasonal discomforts? It's like, what does that mean? I always love using the disclaimer, can I just be a person with you? Can we just be normal? It's a great question, Anne. But yeah, I think, calling regarding essential oils for your family's wellness sounds great. It's perfect. So who wants to practice? Don't worry, I'm going to be nice because I'm going to go first. This is a safe space, you guys.
Well, I'll always volunteer to practice, but like I said, I don't want to take it from someone else if they want to do it.
I'll take your volunteering. This is great because I noticed you were reading from your sheet of paper, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So a couple of role plays, get you a little more comfortable with the content. Have a couple
right. I laughed. I thought, oh, after we make the video, then Tasha tells us we're supposed to memorize it. Anyway, which was fine, but that made me chuckle.
Yeah, no, it's okay. So there are only 3 things that you guys really need to have memorized. Okay, the first one is you're setting appointments, because if you're out and about in a public situation and oils come up, you can't be like, hold on a second, let me find my notes. What do I say? It just has to be, oh, great. Usually what I do is.
Right.
Second is going to be your close. Okay, in order to approach that confidently and with conviction, it's something you have to have memorized. Because if you're like, okay, so let me tell you about our kits, blah, 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 you're reading it. It's not as, like, your customer is not feeling as assured about, okay, yes, I do want to get this today, versus just saying it. Yeah, I can't look them in the eye. Thank you, Kristen. And then the last is going to be a referral approach. Why do you guys think this is important to have it memorized? I know why.
So it's more genuine.
Mm-hmm.
More genuine.
And we're confident when we do it. I love Tasha's analogy to the song. And like you're at a church and they're singing a song, and if they don't know the song, like the energy's different. But if everyone knows the song and they like it, they just belt it out. And I thought, that's cool. That's true. If I'm super confident when I'm saying, it's just going to roll off my tongue. And I think having it memorized gives you that confidence.
And then how does your customer feel, you guys?
That you rock, that you know what you're doing, your business.
Do you think they would feel uncomfortable at that point?
No, not at all.
Contact information?
No.
Why not?
If you feel confident of what you're asking, you will get a positive response. And this happened to me in this meeting. It's like, okay, this is what I want. I want her to try our oils, and I got it. It's like, wow. And the same thing happened with another phone call that I did. After last week, I was rehearsing, practicing. It's like, okay, I need to call this. She's my neighbor, and I want to schedule an appointment. And it was tough, but I said, okay, I'm going to call her. I'm not going to wait another day. And I'm glad I did that day, because she said, wait. As I was practicing all my role playing, she said, wait. I'm going out of town next week, but the following week will work. It's like, oh, wow, that was easy. So it's right there. It's like, oh my gosh. So we just have to do it. And for me, it has taken me 3 years to really get something going on. And all of a sudden it's starting to pick up, because I'm acting. I'm doing my work. Slowly, I'm very behind on the course, but I'm here every week. So I'm taking it how I can.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
So great. Yeah, confidence is super important, you guys. I love thinking about, since we're all Friends fans here, right? Everyone's Friends fans. Do you guys all remember the episode where Ross is giving a speech and he's got like note cards, and, you know, they're all talking about like, look him in the eye, you know? And so he's like looking at his notes and then trying to make eye contact with people. Like, that makes people feel uneasy. And yeah, hold on. What I need you to do is write down 5 people. Right? And they're like, no. I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
Because what are we afraid of being besides that rejection? Right? We don't want to be that pushy, like slimy, like salesy person. Right? And so if we lack the confidence or the skill set, then our approach to asking for referrals can start to feel that way.
Yeah.
Right? It's either going to feel disingenuous, or it's going to feel like very awkward and uncomfortable because we're not comfortable and confident in what we're saying. And then ultimately we end up being that person that we don't want to be. Because if you call somebody's friend, right, a contact that, like, if they tell you no, are you going to call them again and bother them?
No.
And do you think that, you know, your friends friends and family that you reached out with these approaches, like, do you think that those people would be upset to get a voicemail like this or a text message?
If you're confident, no.
Yeah, it's just like it's like a blip on their radar, right? It's not even going to register for them. Like, if they're busy, if they don't want to talk to you after you've reached out 3 times, if they don't get back to you, like, they're probably not even thinking about it. And here we are, like, why didn't they call me back? They don't like me. I did something wrong. Most of the time, it's not about us, right? They're just moving on with their lives. So I think for you guys, just keep that in the back of your mind. Like, this approach, the way that it's worded, is meant to be like this, like, it's like something totally neutral for people that you're calling that you don't know. That way they're like, oh, okay, that was really nice, or oh, whatever. You know, they're not going to call their friend and be like, I can't believe you gave me that girl's number. Like, she called me and then she left me this message. No. They may send a text like, oh, hey, your friend called me. Thanks.
Yeah,
No big deal. No big deal.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Laura, so are you ready to do some role play?
I am ready.
Okay, cool. Let me get my outline up for you guys, because you guys, I just can't. I cannot type and talk at the same time. Like, I just can't do it. I feel like it's like playing guitar and like singing at the same time. I still can't do that either. So
Which one are we role playing?
we're going to do whichever one you're more comfortable with. I know the one that you practice is example number 2. Let me blow
Oh,
it
yes.
up.
Yeah.
Yes?
No, it's fine. I'm looking at my phone. That's why I'm like.
Oh, I'm like, can you see it?
I've got it printed. I just want to make sure I was reading the right thing or
Perfect.
referring to the right thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm literally going to read from the sheet of paper.
Okay.
You're going to answer, and then you'll go, and then I'll go again. And then we're going to go through this 3 times.
Okay. Perfect.
Cool?
Cool.
All right. So, Laura, how did you like the presentation?
I liked it. I found it very informative.
Awesome. Well, here's where you can really help me out. I try to only meet with people I've been recommended to or I know personally. And what I need you to do is jot down 5 people you know that would be nice enough to meet with me. They don't have to be people you think will for sure will buy, just anyone who is nice and cares about their health. And here's the cool thing. For every 5 people you give me, I'm going to give you a custom free roller blend of your choice. So here's a pen and my notebook. I really appreciate your help.
Great. I'll write them down.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Yes. Yes.
You go.
Okay. Okay, great. Your order will come in on Friday the 10th, more than likely. But before we finish up, how did you like the presentation?
It was really great. Thank you so much.
Good. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Here is something you can, here's where you can really help me out. I try only to meet with people that I've been recommended to or that I know personally. What I need you to do is to jot down 5 people you know that would be nice enough to meet with me. They don't have to be people that you think for sure will buy, just anyone who is nice and who cares about their health. So for every 5 people you give me, I will give you a free rollerball blend. Here's a pen in my notebook. I really appreciate your help.
Awesome. How'd that feel?
It felt good. Yeah, it felt good. I feel like I need to get a notebook now.
Yeah.
I don't have a
Didn't
notebook.
you get one at leadership?
I did, but I never use those. They're too fancy. I know I'm strange.
Use them for your referrals.
That's what I thought, actually. I did think about that. I'm like, I could use one of these for my referrals. Because my first thought was like, they're going to see it's like a blank notebook. And I have no one, else written down in here at first. But if it's a spiral like that, it could just be a new page. So I like that.
Well, and here's a little ninja skill for you guys. So anytime that I get like new contacts or whatever, I just write them down in my referral notebook because technically they are a referral. So even though it may not be somebody else writing it down, like it's in
Ah.
there, right? Because I know it's a referral. And then that way, you know, if I'm out with people, like there's already stuff there. So they're going to see it already.
So does it have to be a new page for every person, or you just let them see
No.
the names and numbers?
It doesn't
above?
matter. It doesn't matter. I think like seeing names and numbers is reassuring. That's social proof, right?
I see.
I
Right.
see is like, oh, everybody must do this. I should do
Yes.
this too.
Okay.
Right?
Can I chime in too?
Yeah.
So, all my time as a realtor before doTERRA, this is a realtor trick. You write down, like you have like, you know, those open house registries that everyone has, that they want to know that you came to their open house. Like, it's the same thing. You're looking for a referral from that open house, basically. So you write down a couple of people that are already your clients as if they already came through your open house. And it just gives people that like, oh, someone else did it, so it's okay for me to do it too. And a lot of people will then do it. They may not give you, especially at an open house, they're not going to give you all their information. But in this instance, you're probably going to get really good information. So
Yeah. Thank you, Rachel.
Yeah, good
Totally.
idea.
It's like putting the dollar in the tip jar. I don't know if I was barista, Kristen was a barista, but we call it padding the tip jar. So we'd put money in the jar to start because people see money in the jar and they're like, oh, there's money in there. Everybody else is giving a tip. I probably should too.
So so you don't write notes next to it about how the phone call went or anything, but you just have those names. Maybe you cross them off once you
Yep.
called them, or
However you want to do it.
I'm just
It's whatever.
curious.
Yeah, it's whatever works for you. I wouldn't necessarily cross them off.
Okay.
I like highlighting is good.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go again. You're going to go again.
Okay.
And then really quickly to answer your question, because maybe some of you are wondering this too in terms of what do I give as the incentive? I mean, whatever you have. So like if you've got intro kits on hand, if you want to break those up and give away the 5 ml bottles as an incentive, that's great. Free, I like the custom roller blends are great too, just because that's usually stuff you have on hand. Super easy. I think the biggest thing to be mindful of when you're looking at what you want to give away to incentivize is look at your profit and loss.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because for everybody, it's going to be different, right? So, and you want it to be something that they're going to love, something that's easy to use. You know, a chapstick, I'm like, meh. Free roller blend, I'm like, oh, okay. So, and you know, if you're meeting with them and you just went through the sales presentation, you're already going to have an idea of their health goals. So you could use that, right? Similar to that first appointment special where it's, okay, I can give you a custom free roller blend. You mentioned allergies and sleep. I can make you a blend for either. Which would you prefer? You could just say, hey, for every 5 people you give me, I'll go ahead and I'll give you an allergy blend for free. So does that help, Laura?
It does. And so what I have, which I don't know, so I kind of wonder, do I take like a variety with me? I think maybe that's what you're saying. And I figured I'd just, if they give me 10, then I could let them choose 2 out of the however many I brought or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or does that?
I have this. I got this little container at Daiso. I don't know if you guys have that, but I have empty roller blends. I have some labels and I have the like rollers in here.
Mm-hmm.
And I take this with me on an appointment. So when they tell me, there's an echo. I don't know who that is. Sorry. I was hearing myself and I hate that because I hear myself talk all day, you guys. But when they let me know, like, oh, you know, I want a free allergy blend or whatever. Like, I'm not going to offer something that I don't have a label for, obviously.
Right.
And then as they're writing it down, like, here is a notebook and my pen. I really appreciate your help. I'm going to go ahead and mix that up for you right now.
Nice.
And then they can see, like, it's easy, right? Because I'm also thinking, like, team second, right? Duplication. Like, you can do it right then and there, and it's super easy. It's not hard.
I like that.
So if you don't have a little container, like makeup bag, you guys, like we all have makeup bags lying around for some reason. I don't know why. We just see a new cute one at Target and buy another one. Okay, I'm going to go again.
Okay.
All right, Laura, how did you like the presentation?
I liked it. It was good.
Awesome. So here's where you can really help me out. I try to only meet with people I've been recommended to or I know personally. What I need you to do is jot down 5 people you know that would be nice enough to meet with me. They don't have to be people you think for sure will buy, just anyone who is nice and cares about their health. For every 5 people you give me, I will give you a custom free roller blend of your choice. Here is a pen and my notebook. I really appreciate your help.
So what I wanted to say to kind of throw you off is, no, I don't think so. I don't think I want to give out names and phone numbers. Like, how would you respond to that?
Okay, no problem.
That's it?
Yeah. If they said like I'm not comfortable with that, okay, no problem.
Okay.
Or if they said, oh, let me check back, like let me ask my friends first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sure, no problem. Would tomorrow be too soon to check back in with you so I can get your free blend in the mail?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
If they tell you no, you guys, they tell you no. That's totally okay. You have to be okay with that, right? It's about detaching ourselves from the outcome. Because that's the rejection that Kathy mentioned that we're afraid of.
So what if someone says, I want to try these, like Kathy said, I want to try these and see how they work first.
Okay.
Do you say something like, okay, well, once you have, and if you want, I mean, how do you, like, I still want to get a referral later is what I'm thinking.
Sure. Great question. So simple response is, sure, no problem. Would next week be too soon to check back in with you?
I see. Okay. Good.
Because I'm asking for permission.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And most of the time, what do you think they're going to say? Like, what would you say, Laura, if I asked you that?
I would probably say, no, I think that's fine. I think that would be fine.
Yeah. So then we have to make sure next week that we check back, right? Hey, how are those oils going for you? I know you wanted to give them a try. They say whatever they have to say. Okay, great. Well, here's where you can really help me out.
So that could be where we could even couple that in with the follow-up appointment.
Absolutely.
Because
Yes.
we're checking in with them anyway, how they're doing with their oils.
Totally. So it's always best to ask on the first appointment. Why do you guys think that is?
I think that's because that's what we're selling as the referral. So they're it's fresh in their mind what they just experienced, and they'll be able to more clearly give a referral of someone that could maybe go through that experience as well, I think.
Yeah. Because where are they at on the motivation roller coaster?
Super high.
You just loved on them for like 30 to 45 minutes, right? And so whether or not they buy or not, they feel pretty good, right? Because you guys are awesome. And you guys are about them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's always best. You're going to have far better results if you ask on the first appointment. Now, if it's too much for you, right? If you're still like getting confident and mastering your clothes and you're just like, I'm just not ready for this. Like, I just can't do it. Don't try and do it on the fly. It's just like, don't sell on the fly. Don't try and get referrals on the fly either. You can ask on the follow-up appointment if you want to. And usually that's what I will do. If it's a class, like at a class, it's too much. There's too many people there. It's just too much for me to do. And so I'll ask on the follow-up appointment. Your results aren't going to be as good if you ask on the follow-up appointment, but I'm still making sure to ask.
So if someone's signing up as a wellness advocate wanting to sell, Obviously, they're not going to give you referrals because those are going to be their people, but you could maybe tell them to start thinking about who they know that might be interested, in ordering or whatever.
Mhm. Yeah,
Is that-
because those are going to be their contacts, right? That they're going to
Mhm.
set those initial kind of, hey, I'm starting a new business and I'm looking for people to practice appointments.
Mhm.
Cool.
Can I mention something to that?
Mhm.
I took this week with Kasha as well, and she was mentioning about that, and that's one question I asked her, and she said still ask for the referrals, because then they will think, okay, I'm not gonna refer these people, I'm gonna want to do this as a business, so I'm gonna ask for the business. So if we're always asking for referrals, then we will know if this is a good option for them, if they want to build or they want to share.
Yeah.
Yep.
Always ask. Because if we don't ask, then what? Nothing, right?
Nothing happens.
Then the answer is always no.
Exactly. Yeah. The worst thing that people are going to say is what? No, you guys, right? And we just have to be okay with that. Like realizing like, that's not about me. It's not personal if they tell you no.
Right.
Cool. All right, Laura, are you ready to go again?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, great. Your order will come in on Friday. Here is where you can really help me out. I try to only meet with people that I've been recommended to or that I know personally. What I need you to do is to jot down 5 people you know that would be nice enough to meet with me. They don't have to be people that you think will buy for sure. Just anyone who is nice and actually cares about their health. For every 5 people you give me, I will give you a free rollerball blend of your choice. Here's a pen in my notebook. I really appreciate your help.
Awesome. Don't forget to ask, how'd you like the presentation?
Oh yeah, did I not say that?
Yeah, it's totally
I skipped
okay.
that part. Okay.
That's totally okay. That question is really important, you guys, because that's like a pulse check for you. You're going to find out where they're at and like how they're feeling when you ask them that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because if they're still like not sure, if they're uncertain, most of the time it'll be like, it was great.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that question is really important. Okay, I'm going to go and then you're going to go one more time.
Okay.
Laura, how did you like the presentation?
I really liked it. I thought it was
Awesome.
informative.
Awesome. So great. Here's where you can really help me out. I only try to meet with people I've been recommended to or I know personally. So what I need you to do is jot down 5 people you know that would be nice enough to meet with me. They don't have to be people you think for sure will buy, just anyone who is nice and who cares about their health. And for every 5 people you give me, I'm going to give you a free custom roller blend of your choice. So here's a pen and my notebook. I really appreciate your help.
Great.
You go.
Okay.
You're nodding. I want to ask you, like, would you be writing people down?
Maybe, I always like getting something free, right? So maybe I would. Okay, great. Your order will come in on Friday the 10th. Before we finish up, how did you like the presentation?
I thought it was really great. You answered all my questions.
Awesome. So here is where you can really help me out. I try to only meet with people that I've been recommended to or that I know personally. What I need you to do is to jot down 5 people you know that would be nice enough to meet with me. They don't have to be people you think for sure will buy, just anyone who is nice and cares about their health. And for every 5 people you give me, I will give you a free custom rollerball blend. Here is a pen and my notebook. I really appreciate your help.
Great. Awesome. How do you feel?
Fine, but for some reason when I say I really appreciate your help, I feel like I've just said it recently, but I think it's because it rhymes with and cares about their health. I don't know. I keep thinking, didn't I just say that? Am I thanking them twice? I don't know why.
No, you didn't.
Anyway.
Do you feel more comfortable with it now that you've gone through it a couple times?
I do.
You seem more comfortable.
Yeah.
You guys, do you think she sounds different on that third time versus the first one? Yeah. As customers, now that you guys have had this a couple times, how do you feel when you hear this?
Good. I have a question though. On my video, you said not to use the word try. You said I only meet with.
So I didn't realize that Tasha had put that in the outline.
Okay.
Because before it was I only meet with. I think she added the word try just because you guys are a little scared. Because it's kind of a wimp word, right? And I'm not saying that to be like insulting by any means, but when you guys hear I try to only meet with versus I only meet with people I know or have been personally recommended to.
I guess for me, I guess I'd meet with anyone. You know, so.
But what sounds more or confident?
Only.
I only meet with. So maybe take out I try to.
Yeah. So it's in there because we know based on all the groups that we've coached that this is scary for you guys. And so that just makes it a little easier because it's like, I try to do this versus being like super assertive and like, I only meet with people I know. Yeah, it's a buffer. Thanks, Kristen. I think you guys could go in and just be like, I only meet with people I know or have been personally recommended to.
I was thinking too, like if you just, I mean, maybe this is the California girl in me because I love the word like anyway, but I like to only meet with. It gives you that little, like it still gives you that maybe I don't, maybe you're still meeting with people that you don't necessarily aren't referred to you, but you like that as your preferred appointment. So instead of saying try, maybe I like to. And it still gives you that little buffer almost, but it's not like it's not a wimpy word.
Yeah. There are a few wimp words that we try to avoid. Interested. That's a wimp word. That's a great question.
Don't feel obligated.
Yeah.
That's another one.
Great question though, Kathy. Yeah, I saw like after I had put that in there, I was like, I wonder if it's in the outline because everybody was saying that. And then I was like, oh, shoot.
Part of the course update you guys are in the middle of once again.
Yeah, you guys got the gentle approach. The one I learned was like, you're just going for it. I'm like, okay. Does anybody have any other questions or things as we wrap up?
I haven't watched the video, but I'm like super behind. I'm still playing catch up. But for this, is this like just when they give you 5 referrals, or it's 5 people that you've actually met with, then you give them that roller?
It's 5 contacts.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
I just need a clarification.
Yeah. So for every 5 names, so guess what? If they give you 10, that means they get 2 blends or 2 of whatever. So yeah, because we're incentivizing them to give us referrals, right? It doesn't matter whether or not the referrals call us, don't call us back, if we meet with them, don't meet with them. We're just looking for contact info because the goal and intent behind trying to get referrals is to make sure that you guys don't have a dry pipeline. Because if you were asking this on every appointment you had, do you think you would have a lead generation problem in your business? No. Yeah. You wouldn't be like trying to like squeeze blood out of a rock anymore. Or like calling like, please, I need people to talk to. Because then you'd have too many people to call. You'd be like, I don't even know when I'm going to call these people. That's a way better feeling, right, for you guys, right? Versus like scrambling and feeling desperate, like, who am I going to talk to next? Yeah. So every appointment, and if you guys have got new people on your team that you're working with, like, this approach should be something that you just automatically teach them in their sales presentation. It's just like a no-brainer. It just has always been. That way, getting started, they're not going to have, a challenge with running out of people to talk to. And they're not going to know any different either. They're just going to know, like, oh, this is what we've always done. Versus like later on after they've had some experiences, oh, by the way, let me teach you this thing. So just teach them right out of the gate. I see the chat blowing up. Is there anything else that I'm missing?
We're a little out of time.
Yeah.
I had a question that was a little off topic, so I put it on the Facebook Live, thing. You'd rather do that?
Yep.
Give you time to think about it too.
Cool. So Anne, I'll get to your question. Facebook Live tomorrow.
Yeah.
Have a great rest of your day, you guys. Really quickly before we wrap up, we are having a referral challenge. We love challenges. So anybody who gets 10 referrals in between today and our call next week is going to be entered into a raffle to get the Emerge coffee mug. You want one. So 10 or more referrals by our call next Tuesday, and then we're going to have a raffle to see who gets the mug. Cool? All right, you guys. Have a great week. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.